FPL Game Week 6 players to buy. It's a big week, lots of wildcards active, lots of free hits active. My wildcard is active as well, so we'll be going through the best players to buy in the Vert verified power ranking, my top 5 for the next 5. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe, and let's get into it. What's up, it's FPL Vert where arrows go green, and as you can see they actually have gone green, so we'll discuss a little bit more of that in my team selection video later. But in today's video we'll be going through the top 5 for the next 5 across all the positions, including a free hit draft. I won't include a wildcard draft because my wildcard's active, so you can see that tomorrow in my team selection video. But in today's video we're going to start with the goalkeepers, and goalkeepers is always an interesting position because you're never really looking to make a goalkeeper transfer unless you're a wildcard. But if you are looking to buy a goalkeeper, I probably would go for Petrovic because he's cheaper and the value is amazing. But long term, I think Raya is just the one. I mean, Arsenal's defense, we know already now for the past 2 seasons, you know, Raya's won the Golden Boot back to back, so they keep enough clean sheets. I think they will keep the most clean sheets again this season, so I would go for Raya. Donnarumma's interesting because, you know, obviously he's new and he's exciting, but I don't really rate City's defense like that, and obviously you can tell by the underlying numbers as well. It's actually the most on this list outside of Dubravka, who's obviously only here as the budget option. But Pope and Newcastle, they're doing very well defensively at the moment. 0.53 is actually the best on this list, and they've also kept 4 clean sheets out of the opening 5. So that's an interesting one. I'm not sure. I think I would just trust Arsenal's defense longer term. But if you want to go a bit different, you can go for Pope. So that's the goalkeepers for now. Into the defenders, and not to give myself a massive pat on the back again, but every single Vert verified watch list in this season, I've actually had Senesi number 1 starting in game week 3, and that was before obviously he started getting these mega scores. But he just represents incredible value. He's up to 4.8 million now, obviously started at 4.5, but he averages more than the DEFCON threshold every game at 13.2. He has some attacking goal threat. Obviously he got an assist for Evan Nilsson's goal, which I wouldn't say was an amazing assist, but it still was an assist. And Bournemouth are just playing very well at the moment, so I think you can't really go wrong with him, and that's why so many people are transferring him in as well. Number 2, it's probably someone that you didn't expect to see, is Trevor Chalobah of Chelsea. He actually has not blanked this season. He's actually managed to get a score in every single game week this season. He actually managed to get DEFCON on Saturday as well, and you know, at the moment he's got the 4th highest XGI amongst all the defenders, and he's got the 6th most DEFCONs amongst all the defenders. And I know a lot of people are getting excited over Tarkowski, but Everton aren't really keeping that many clean sheets, and I don't think they will long term either. I don't think they're not a Sean Dyche team anymore. They're now a Moisey team that, you know, obviously has Grealish and Dewsbury Hall and Ndiaye, and they're trying to play a bit more football these days. So I'm not really all over Tarkowski, and especially at 5.5 million, I don't really. He's not my cup of tea really. So Chalobah, obviously he's got 2 goals already this season. He gets DEFCON. Chelsea's fixtures are actually good long term, especially obviously I wanted to activate my wildcard around game week 8, so I'm having to go a little bit early. So this is just me trying to save a transfer really. So I'd have Chalobah number 2 just because of price. Then obviously the premium on here is going to be Gabriel, because we know that Arsenal's defense is the best. I think a Raya Gabriel double up is very sensible, especially as we don't really know how many minutes Saka's going to be playing. And obviously Gyökeres has been described as being the best penalty taker at Arsenal by Mikel Arteta himself. And obviously Gyökeres took the penalty as well for the season. Obviously Saka wasn't on the pitch, but yeah, I think Raya and Gabriel is very sensible. Anderson is just a king at the moment. He's got DEFCON in 4 out of the 5 games this season, so yeah, you can't go wrong with him. And then Richards as well. Crystal Palace's fixtures from now until like game week 30, not for now, from game week 10 until game week 30 are very good. So if you're activating wildcard, I would actually just go with these 5, like I actually have as well. Into the midfielders, and slowly but surely we're getting some midfielders to actually discuss. But as of right now, 5 of the top 7 assets in the game, highest scoring assets in the game, are defenders. You got Haaland at number 1, Semenyo at number 2, and then the next 5 are all defenders, with Chalobah having the most points out of all the defenders, which is why I'm quite big on him as well. Seems kind of underrated. Maybe I can influence you guys to pick him. But yeah, as I said, Semenyo is the highest scoring midfielder in the game at the moment. He's doing very well. He actually got DEFCON as well in game week 5, which is a pleasant surprise to see. Obviously his price just keeps rising and rising. He's gone up to 7.7 and he started the season at 7 million. So kind of crazy really. But yeah, I think you can't really go wrong with him at that price as well. And Leeds is a great entry point. I've got Foden number 2. This is more because if you're buying for this week, I think, you know, Foden, we all know how streaky he can be. He's essentially like Rashford. Like once he hits a bit of form, he keeps going for a bit. And I think Burnley at home is a great fixture, considering that Burnley easily have the worst defensive data in the entire league. They've conceded the most shots and they've conceded the most XGA as well. So if you're looking for a bit of a punt, I'd go for Foden. But Bruno Fernandes, as of right now, he has the most XGI out of all midfielders. And that's even if you take away the penalty. So non-expected goal involvement, he's still top. So can't really go wrong with him at that price. Obviously, a 9 million is a bit expensive, but he just finds a way to score, it seems. He's already got 2 double-digit returns this season as well. And of course, he's on the fabled penalties. Then we've got Ndai as well, who he's doing quite well as well. Obviously, I think he's a better option than Grealish, mainly because Grealish is going to be ineligible to play in Game Week 8 because he's facing his parent club in Manchester City in Game Week 8. But Ndai, yeah, I mean, he even got an assist at Anfield, managed to get DEFCON as well. So can't really go wrong with him at that price. And then Stack, you might think it's kind of knee-jerky, but at 5 million, if someone's going to be taking free kicks and you can get DEFCON, can't really go wrong in my opinion. Into the forwards, and yes, we do have Haaland at number 1, even though he does currently have a yellow flag. Don't read too much into the comments. Pep hasn't actually said that he's injured. I think he just wanted to rest him completely from the Huddersfield game. And I'm fully expecting him to be fine for the Burnley game in Game Week 6. So if we look into him just, you know, as his numbers, as you can see, 1.42 expected goals involvements per 90. Outrageous. Basically, more than double everyone else is on this list. So he has to be the number 1 option. He has to be the number 1 priority this week. Maybe for the season, but for this week at least anyway, he's definitely the number 1 priority, as he's facing a Burnley side that have conceded the most expected goals in the entire league so far. So if you don't have Haaland this week, you're in trouble. Number 2 is Joao Pedro. He's definitely overperforming his expected goal involvement at the moment with 0.36, which is not that high, but he just finds a way to get points at the moment. And I think if Palmer's going to be out, he should be on penalties, because I think Enzo only took that one against Fulham because, well, the fans were getting onto him, it seems. So he just wanted to give him a little something back, I guess. So yeah, I think Joao Pedro is going to be on penalties if Palmer won't be on the pitch. Then Gyökeres, obviously not the best entry point away to Newcastle, but I mean, from Game Week 7, you're just going to want to own him, especially as he definitely looks like a bit of a flat track bully. I think he's definitely going to eat against the lesser sides at least, while Arteta's trying to figure out how best to set up this new super team that Arsenal have, because of a lot of options, a lot of attacking options as well. But it does seem like Gyökeres will be the number 1 go-to man, especially as the penalty taker. Then Richarlison is more for this week. I wouldn't want him long term because Solanke's back in training and it doesn't seem like there's a go-to person at Spurs. But I think Wolves at home is a great fixture. So if you're looking for a 1-week punt for forward, I'd probably look at Richarlison. Then Mateta's here just because his data is actually quite good, but they don't have the best fixtures between now and Game Week 9. But from Game Week 10, Palace's fixtures, as mentioned earlier, are quite good from between Game Week 30. So that's just a look at there. So into a free hit draft for Game Week 6. I usually include a wildcard draft on the Vert verified watch list, but this week my wildcard is active, so my team selection will basically be my wildcard, so you can tune into that later. But just so I can live a little bit vicariously and have players that I wouldn't pick on my wildcard, we're going to have Donnarumma in goal as part of a City triple up as they host Burnley. Foden will definitely be in as well because of the form he is displaying at the moment. Of course, he's got 4 GA in his last 4 games, so definitely got to be Foden. Has to be Haaland captain despite the flag. We will have Semenyo vice just in case something happens in part of a Bournemouth double up as they travel to Leeds. Senesi is, he picks himself. Porro is here just because he's technically the most attacking on paper, but you don't really want to be picking a centre back over a fullback, so go for Porro here, even though I don't think he's worth the price. And that's kind of the same for Tarkowski. I don't really think he's worth 5.5 million given the points he has returned this season so far. Ndai is here. Obviously you could have Grealish if you want to, but I just think Ndai is more likely to score a goal and Grealish is more likely to assist, so I'd rather bank on the guy that can score more goals. Bruno is just like all-round appeal. As I mentioned, he's got the highest expected goal involvement amongst all the midfielders. Richarlison's here because you wouldn't want to own him long-term, but you'd want to own him for Wolves. And then Joao Pedro is just the second most informed forward in the game at the moment. So that's the free hit draft. As mentioned, I will be doing a team selection video where I will include my wildcard draft at the moment, my personal wildcard draft, as well as a review of how Game Week 5 went on the bench boost. So thanks for watching. Leave any questions you have in the comments and I'll be sure to respond to them. Also, you can DM me on Instagram and Twitter and Blue Sky as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.